Country at the Capitol 2.0, meaning it's I'm here with High Valley, the opening act for Emerson Drive.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. First of all, what's it been like with Emerson Drive? Is this your first headlining tour, or sorry, opening up for a major act? What's it like?
Well, this would be not our first time, but this is the longest time. We've opened for Paul Brandt quite a bit, and the last two tours we did were Doc Walker and Carolyn Don Johnson. So, but this is 15 shows, and tonight is number 3 out of 15. So it's just starting, and we're excited that it's nowhere close to over yet. It's been really fun already.
Interestingly, a few months ago, I talked to Paul Brandt, and obviously he's a huge fan of you guys. I'm like, what's your favorite new artist? And he said you guys.
Awesome. I guess we owe him another $20.
And he, of course, he produced your album, correct?
Yeah.
What was that like with a major Canadian star?
Oh man, that was pretty cool. Actually, believe it or not, probably about 6 or 7 months before we started working on the record, we were like, wouldn't it be cool if we could get somebody like Paul Brandt or somebody to produce a couple songs on the record? And sure enough, things just lined up, and he came on board, and he fell in love with our music and wanted to produce a couple songs. So we were just honored at the opportunity. It was pretty awesome.
High Valley, Brad, Ryan, Curtis, you guys are brothers.
Yes,
Correct.
You've been playing together since you were born, I'm assuming, or whatever, since you've been playing.
Pretty much.
High Valley's been, since Brian was 9 and I was 12, so 14 years that High Valley's been making music. And
That's almost as long as Emerson Drive's been together.
yeah, but the difference is we don't want you to hear any of our older CDs. We only want you to hear our brand new one. Right?
Brothers growing up making music together, what's that like?
I mean, it's obviously really awesome being able to travel with your family. The negative side is that you never get away from your family. So, but we've got one really good rule, and that is that we will fight. And when we do, we make sure that we get it out of our system and get everything forgiven and worked out before we go back on stage. And,
Is it verbal and physical?
No, it's mainly verbal. The only time it gets physical is if we're just like having fun and trying to beat the junk out of each other. It's just kind of for fun.
Because when you say beat each other up, I'm just imagining this, brotherly love, right?
We haven't made each other bleed too often, except for one time on the school bus.
Can you talk about that, or is that a secret?
Curtis was going to pretend to punch me in the nose, and he didn't just pretend.
It's a very short story.
No, just no biggie.
That was a very enjoyable.
It's very exciting. Yeah.
I will stand by you. You just won an award for that at the Canadian Music Week, Canadian Radio Music Awards.
Yeah.
How does that feel? That radio's loving your stuff.
It feels awesome. I mean, like I said, we've been doing this for quite a while, and when we were sitting there at the at Canadian Music Week during the award show, and we had actually just performed the song, so that was awesome. Everybody else, there was all the pop stars and the rap stars and everybody, and the rock bands, and we got to represent country, which was pretty sweet. And we're sitting down eating this incredibly fancy meal, and
And you're obviously incredibly fancy guys. So.
coming from Creed, Alberta, of course. So Tara Oram says the winner is High Valley, and we were completely unprepared, but we
You were actually
thanked.
in the bathroom? You weren't even.
No, we were not in the bathroom. We were chewing on chicken, so we had to quickly swallow that and go up and accept the award.
Curtis has the trophy in his backpack as we speak.
Yeah, it's
so-
about 2.5 pounds, I'd say.
Do you actually have it here?
Not right here.
Oh.
It's all
where is
of
it?
us.
It's in the van, right? It's in our FedEx van.
I'd like to see that. So you've not only toured with great Canadian acts, but you've opened for some major artists: Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, Leanne Rimes, Reba. When you got to meet them, what was that? Explain that.
Well, we were talking about this the other day. Almost everybody that we've ever met in the country music industry, I think, seems to remember where they came from, because they all treat us really good. None of them are like too high and mighty for us. They're always helping us out. And actually, the day after this tour ends, we start opening for Ricky Skaggs in the U.S. And because we like harmony and acoustic instruments, we're huge Skaggs fans. So I think that's probably going to be a huge, just a milestone in our career for us personally, anyway.
Very cool. And I hear that, I believe, Brad, you said this, that you describe yourself as a Dierks Bentley trio. Dierks is one of my favorite artists. How do you describe that, Dierks Bentley being 3 people?
Well, everybody when
Do
they...
the math here, Brad, come on.
It's like Trimese twins.
when people hear that we're a vocal group, they kind of expect us to be really pop and all that kind of stuff. And obviously with Lady Annabelle and the Rascal Flats and stuff, that's what people expect. And so we're just trying to explain we're a little more earthy, a little more organic than that.
Not so Jonas Brothers.
Exactly. We have been. Curtis gets compared to the Jonas Brothers sometimes.
You're also pretty.
It's good for Facebook.
Thank you.
But like I said, Paul Brand produced your album. Guys are great so far. Now you're here in Chatham, so that's big time. Big time.
Yes, ma'am. This town's about 100 times as big as our town, so we feel excited to be here. And we've actually got some fans down in Aylmer and St. Thomas, and some towns not too terrible far away from here. So we're excited to see who all shows up tonight.
Fantastic. And speaking of small towns, you said 25%. I would maybe exact 25% of your songs maybe were written or thought of while you were on a tractor? Is that true?
Very close.
Okay.
On the combine, I think, is where most of it happened.
Okay.
And tractors too. And our dad never wanted us to be listening to the radio while we were harvesting, because then you can't hear exactly what's going on outside, and all of a sudden you plug up the header or create some problems. So whenever Dad would call us on the two-way radio, I'd always turn off the radio quickly and then say, "Yeah, what do you want?" So that he couldn't tell that I was listening to the radio. But it got me by for quite a few years.
Here with Brad, Ryan, and Curtis of High Valley. You guys are great. What are you going to play for us today?
Well, that's a good segue because we've got our guitars and we're ready to roll.
That's just a coincidence.
Yeah, it's a complete coincidence.
We just happen to have the straps over our shoulders.
It's actually glued to you.
Yeah, sort of.
Our parents were both born in Mennonite colonies down in Mexico, horse and buggy, no electricity, and I'm not making this up, this is fact. And so we figure that gives us enough license to sing a song called Call Me Old Fashioned.
Do it.
Promise that I made, got my word. Shake your hand and look you in the eye. I believe in my country. Putting your hand over your heart, and taking off your hat when that anthem starts. could have. Call me old-fashioned, call me old-fashioned.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
But I did have a couple more questions for you.
Sure.
You guys write your own stuff?
Yes, ma'am. I write a lot of songs. We record anybody's songs, as long as they have not been recorded before, and if they fit what we're trying to sing about.
Cool. So explain each one of your roles in High Valley and in your band. Obviously, you know, your youngest to oldest. What is your role in this band and making it successful?
Well, I play the mandolin, obviously, for those of you that are here watching live, and I sing background vocals, and behind the scenes I do a lot of the fan interaction stuff on Facebook and on our website and stuff
So you
like
do
that.
your own Facebook, you don't have someone else do it?
That's correct.
Cool.
We are the only 3 people that run our Facebook, so we take care of that.
Cool.
Curtis also provides comedic, is that the right word, comedic relief?
Comedic relief.
Yes.
Right.
Wow, look at that, and I did brutal in school. I'm Brian, I play bass, I sing high, which gets tiring sometimes. Trying to pretend like you never had a voice change when you're on stage, but anyway.
You did have one though, right?
I did have a voice change. I'm a computer geek, so usually if there's any kind of geeky computer stuff that needs to be done to help further something, make things easier, cooler, that's what I try to do. So.
I'm a marketing and management kind of dude, and the oldest brother. But now we have a manager and a marketing guy.
So you're useless now.
I'm completely useless. Thank you so much. I also talk a lot, and I fight with DJs at radio stations after we get off the air. I'm kidding.
Is that going to be verbal or physical?
Completely verbal.
All right.
Wow.
Have you never been asked that before? I figured it was a regular.
You mean if I was useless or if I fight? No, what I do now is hang out with the manager and marketing. I moved down to Nashville so that I could be in a lot of the meetings and stuff. And I write songs Monday to Friday, 10 to 5. That's what I do, is write songs with different artists. And most recently with Blackhawk, one of our favorite bands growing up. They've kind of been hanging out with me a lot. And we've been able to write some cool stuff together, so that's been fun.
Great. And you're coming to the CCMAs, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
I'm inviting you to the CCMAs.
We're also
Thanks for the
assuming, but yeah, we should be there.
Okay, cool. And I would like, if it's cool, can you play one more song for us?
Sure.
Just gotta put your straps back on
Which
there.
song?
Do you want to do your new one, Father's Love?
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
All right, here with High Valley, playing tonight at Country.
Are we live? Are we rolling right now?
Yeah, we're live.
All right, this is A Father's Love. For the longest time he was the kind that just didn't understand. Hard to read, hard to please, yeah, that was my old man. On the day I left for college, it was nothing new. We never had that heart to heart, he had too much to do. He checked the air in my tires, belts and all the spark plug wires. Said, when was the last time you had this oil change? And as I pulled out the drive, said, be sure to call him up sometime. Didn't hear it then, but I hear it now. He was saying, I love you, the only way he knew how. When he
baptized, the belts and all the spark plug wires. Said when was the last time yeah, this oil change? And as I pulled out the drive, said be sure to call him up sometime. And I wish I knew back then what I know now. He was saying that I love you. He was saying I love you. The only way he knew how.
Country at the Capitol. And thank you for coming in. Brad and I are going to go fight. And we will see you guys tonight. You can get tickets at cktickets.com. You can stop by the box office. You guys tonight, 7:30 here at the Chatham Capitol Theater. Thank you so much.
Thank you.